Forest Grove Sound. In February 2016, the residents of Forest Grove, a small town in Oregon, United States, heard a high-pitched noise multiple times for several nights. At first, it was thought that the sound was caused by the equipment used by the Department of Forestry. However, the authorities determined that their equipment was not the cause of the sound. The residents of the city made videos of the sound, which went viral. Media teams rushed to the area, and the strange sound phenomenon was widely covered in mainstream media. Many videos of the sound are still present on the internet. The sound was heard in different parts of the city. Some people described the sound as a siren, while others described it as a high-pitched flute sound. The sounds were mostly heard during the night, and they lasted from 10 seconds to a few minutes. Many residents called the police to report the sound. However, the police had no explanation for it and eventually asked residents to stop making calls about the noise, as it did not pose a safety hazard and they could not do anything about it. There were a number of theories about the mysterious sound. Some people linked it to the sewer system. However, city authorities denied that it was coming from the city sewers. There were also claims that the sound was made by the gas pressure in nearby gas plants, but the gas company also denied that it was being made by their plant. Eventually, residents of the city started proposing some unconventional sources for the sounds. These included frogs, aliens, and Bigfoot. Everyone seemed to have a theory about the sound, but no one had any evidence. Even the authorities were clueless. The mysterious sounds were heard for a few days, and then they were never heard again. To this day, the residents of Forest Grove wonder what the cause of these sounds were. Atsurobune. Atsurobune is a page on Wikipedia that tells about the mysterious object known as Atsurobune or Ulobune. According to the information provided in the Wikipedia article, Atsurobune refers to an incident when, in 1803, an attractive young woman arrived on the coast of Japan in an unusual technologically advanced boat. The local fishermen tried to investigate her, but she could not communicate in Japanese. Not knowing what to do with her, they took her back to the sea and let her go in her boat. According to some local legends, the woman was someone from the third kind. Some legends about Atsurobune also tell of a mysterious box that the woman held in her hands when she came ashore. The Wikipedia page about Atsurobune gives 3 different historical references about the legend. All 3 references are from the early 1800s, giving different but somewhat similar accounts of the incident. The Wikipedia page also mentions a number of investigations on the incident mentioned in the legends of Atsurobune. All the investigations drift towards different results. One of the recent investigations was conducted by Dr. Kazao Tanaka from Gifu University of Tokyo. According to him, the legends of Atsurobune don't give any details about the movement of the boat or any extraordinary technologies of the boat. They simply mention it drifting motionlessly on the water. Dr. Kazao Tanaka concluded that the series of tales of Atsurobune were probably a mixture of imagination and folklore. Russian Geoglyph. In 2011, a Russian geologist, Alexander Shestakov, discovered a large geoglyph on the slopes of Zarakal Mountains in the Chelyabinsk region of Russia. The geoglyph looks like a depiction of a moose or an elk-like animal. It has a long snout, 2 antlers, and 4 legs. The geoglyph was first observed through satellite imagery. After a while, the researchers surveyed the outline of the geoglyph using a seaplane and a glider. After years of excavation work and archaeological studies, researchers believe that this could be the oldest geoglyph ever discovered. It is believed that the geoglyph was made sometime between 4000 and 2000 BCE. During the excavations, geologists unearthed stones laying 4.5 meters. The borders of the geoglyph consists of large stones, and there are small stones at the center. The creators of the geoglyph dug a trench and placed the stones in the trench. The geoglyph is about 195 meters wide, has a length of 715 meters, and a diagonal of about 275 meters. Researchers believe that the figure was easily visible from a nearby ridge, and it had a white shiny appearance against the green grassy background. Researchers have also discovered 40 stone tools during the excavation work. These stone tools are made of quartz. Most of them are mattocks, which are similar to pickaxes and are used for chopping and digging. It is believed that the giant Russian geoglyph was built by a megalithic culture that inhabited the area. Many stone monuments were also created by this culture during prehistoric times. Geologists are carrying out further research to find out more about the mysterious geoglyph and why it was created. Orang Medan. In June 1947, a Dutch ship named Orang Medan was sailing along the Straits of Malacca when it sent out a shocking signal indicating that the captain and the entire crew of the ship were dead. After the first message, a number of random Morse code sequences were received that could not be deciphered. The last message was translated into two simple but shocking words: I die. The grim SOS message of the Orang Medan was picked up by Dutch and British listening posts situated near Malaysia and Sumatra. The listening posts worked together to find the location of Orang Medan and alerted nearby ships. Silver Star, which was an American merchant ship, reached Orang Medan only to find the vessel in nearly perfect condition. Silver Star's crew members shouted at the Orang Medan, but they did not get any response. Finally, after shouting and waving for a long time, a search and rescue team was sent. When the team stepped on the Orang Medan's deck, what they saw was something only to be seen in nightmares. The entire crew of the Orang Medan was lying dead. Their eyes were wide open with fear, their mouths were wide open as if they were screaming when they died, and their arms were spread wide as if they were trying to stop someone. The captain of the ship was also found in the exact same position. All the crew members were present on their designated places and rooms in the ship, but they were all dead and their faces had that identical horrific expression. As the crew members of the American ship were exploring the Orang Medan, it started sinking and the rescuers had to leave the ship along with its dead bodies in order to save their own lives. Some reports claim that the Orang Medan exploded after a while, due to the explosives placed on the ship. Regardless, the unlucky ship sank to the bottom of the ocean along with the remains of its captain and the crew members. What happened on the Orang Medan remains one of the biggest oceanic mysteries. Some researchers have claimed that the crew members died due to a release of carbon monoxide onto the ship, while other theories hold pirates responsible for the horrific tragedy. Unfortunately, there is no record or evidence that could support either theory. The Great Sheep Panic of 1888. The phenomenon was not confined to one specific farm. It was observed across the entire area of Oxfordshire. The unique event took place during the night when something triggered what has been termed as the Great Sheep Panic of 1888. The next day, thousands of sheep were found widely scattered over an area of more than 520 square kilometres. Many of the sheep seemed frightened and were found in groups under the hedges at the corners of the fields. According to the Times, there was no possibility of humans being responsible for this massive sheep panic, as it would have taken a coordinated effort by more than 1,000 men to trigger such a large sheep panic. It was reported in a scientific journal that the night of the 3rd of November 1888 was an extraordinarily dark night. There were some reports of lightning in the area, and occasionally bright flashes were observed in the sky. Sheep panics are not a rare phenomenon. However, such simultaneous widespread sheep panic across such a large area is unheard of. There are a number of theories as to what caused this massive sheep panic of 1888. Some people believe that it was a result of some astronomical event in the sky that triggered the senses of sheep, and some people link the sheep panic with the lightning. It has been believed for many years that animals are able to sense or see different paranormal entities. Therefore, another popular theory about the 1888 sheep panic links the event to a possible encounter with a paranormal entity. Some people believe that perhaps it was an angel that visited the Earth on the insanely dark night of November 3rd, 1888, triggering the sheep panic. Others have linked it to the devil or some other demonic entity. The fact that the locals of Oxfordshire did not report hearing anything strange on the night makes the sheep panic quite unexplainable.